Welcome back, and here we are in the first of a few types of picture books. This first type is called narrative picture books, and that's probably the format, the story that is most familiar to us. It's a story that has a beginning, middle, and end, something we're really familiar with when we read books and see movies, go to plays, that kind of thing. So let's talk a little bit about the elements of the narrative picture book. So first off, we have a character. We have a main character who we're going to be able to identify, and that main character is one who wants something. So there's a problem or a goal involved. And the main character can't get it because for one reason or another, the character can't get it. And then the character tries a few things that don't work to try to get what he or she wants or is working toward, and then tries something that does work and gets what he or she wants or gets something better. So that's really the whole structure in a nutshell. And we're going to go look at a book right now. Let's explore a book that you've already looked at for other reasons. And we're going to look at Chowder by Peter Brown, looking at it as a narratively structured picture book. So if you have your copy of Chowder around, snag it. You can also just follow along, especially if you've read it. I would recommend that you read the book first before you go through this with me, just so you're familiar with the storyline. So if you haven't read it, I would go ahead and pause the video, read through it, and then come on back. You probably can follow me without reading it, but it makes a lot more sense if you've already read the story. All right, so the first question is who? Who is the story about? It's about Chowder. What does Chowder want? Chowder wants friends. Well, why can't he get friends? Well, because he's a little bit different. So he does try to fit in and he fails. For example, there's an image where we see several dogs with dog bones in their mouths. And what's Chowder doing with bones? Well, he's decided to create a fossil, basically rebuild a fossil from the bones that he's found. So that is a great indication of how different he really is from the other dogs. So after that failed attempt, he does return to his comfort zone, plays with his people things, and then he hears about the critter corral and this petting zoo and says, people have said maybe I belong in a zoo. Maybe I'll find friends at the zoo. So he tries to connect with the petting zoo animals, but accidentally kicks their ball into the tree. So he feels like he's failed again without even being able to begin. So he's pretty dejected. And then what happens at the end is he does find a way to get the ball down, and boom, the resolution is he gets some friends. What I really love about this story is when you look at those pictures at the end, here are some friends who are willing to indulge in some of his people-ish type activities. And so there's a kind of a give and take and an acceptance of who they all are, that they can all have fun doing the things that they each like to do. So it's a really fun book. All right, so let's do a quick review now. So a narrative book type has a character who wants something, who can't have it initially, tries and fails to get it, and then in the end finds a way that works so that he or she gets what they want or gets something even better at the end. So those are sort of the elements that you'll see. And that wanting of something, it could be a goal they're trying to reach or an actual thing that they want. So those can vary depending on the story. So that's it for the narrative picture book. Next up, we're going to be looking at the non-narrative picture book. And there's a variety of kinds of non-narrative picture books under this one umbrella. So we'll be looking at a few different types and sort of talking about what are they overall, and then look at a few different ones to see how they vary. So let's go have some fun with non-narrative picture books.